Alright, so after the Battle Pass skin review, I also wanted to make a little review about the new EX.O skin bundle. This skin bundle is some sort of middle ground between Spectrum and Protocol, but it seems pretty interesting, so let's get into it. Now, first of all, we have the Sheriff, and let me say it looks really good. It doesn't have any custom like pull out or reload animations, but it's alright if you like the aesthetic of it. Now, me for example, I'm not a big fan of the aesthetic. Like, I just don't enjoy that type of, cyber aesthetic, but I do think the sound effects are really cool. Like, they just suppress the sound a bit and they're really satisfying, so there's that. I think the Sheriff deserves a solid 8 out of 10 as a rank because, it could be better, but it's pretty good already. Next up, we have the EX.O Spectre, which funnily enough borrows its pull-out animation from the Protocol Spectre. But honestly, the Spectre is also pretty alright, it has these sick holograms around it, and also the sound effects are really satisfying. The pull-out animation is alright even though it is borrowed, and you have all of these flashing lights while reloading the gun and inspecting the gun, which is pretty sick in my opinion. Again, as I said, I'm not a fan of the whole aesthetic of this bundle, but I do think the Spectre should be a solid 9 out of 10 as well. Next up, we have the Vandal, and I'm actually really happy that they did a Vandal instead of a Phantom because the sound effects are immaculate on the Vandal. I think this Vandal will be considered one of those aimbot Vandals, up there with the Prime, with the Kuronami, those types of Vandals. Funnily enough, this Vandal borrows its pull-out animation from the Araxis Vandal, and of course it has the holograms running through it. As I said, not my aesthetic, but looks really good, so who am I to judge? Again, another solid 9 out of 10 skin. Next up, we have the Outlaw, and there's nothing really to say about this skin. I mean, I'm not a fan of the logo on the reticle, but that's just, nitpicking. The skin bundle is pretty cool, and I do think the Outlaw should deserve like an 8 out of 10 if we include the nitpicks. Next up, we have the Katana, and from what it looks like now, it will be upcharged to 5350 VP instead of 4350, but the Katana is alright, it's basically a futuristic Oni Katana, and again, I'm not a fan of the aesthetic, but it's pretty cool. There's nothing else to say about it. I would say it's definitely a solid 7 out of 10 because the Oni Katana would be a higher rating in my opinion. Next up, we have all of the other smaller cosmetics like buddies, banners and sprays, but I wanted to discuss the price, the actual price of the bundle and if it's worth it for that price. Now, it is expected to cost 2175 VP per weapon, which is on the more expensive side, with the melee being upcharged from 4350 VP to 5350 VP. And for that price, I think you can find a lot of other skins which are, on this level or even a bit better, but I think that if you like the aesthetic, you should just go for it because the variants of this bundle are also pretty cool and they're diverse, so I don't think you'll regret buying this if you like the aesthetic. Now, let me know what you think about this down in the comments, subscribe for more Valorant content, but I will see you next time and goodbye.